Hey guys, it's Will with Terrible Infant. Hey, guess what? We're doing another figurine. So, we did an unboxing of a Throbblehead from a company called Aggronautix about a year ago. A Throbblehead is a punk rock bobblehead, and the one that we did is Skeleton, who is the like one of the mascots. What is the word that I'm looking for? It's like one of the logos kind of for Rancid. And Rancid is one of my all-time favorite bands, my favorite punk band for sure, along with Against Me. I have to add the caveat. I can never just say that something is my favorite anything. There always has to be a caveat. But I love that Throbblehead, and it's on my desk at work, and I have the box sitting next to it because the box is so cool too. And we did a couple other figurine unboxings of we did like an alien xenomorph letterhead opening, and we did a X-Men Fluke Man, like it's like a vinyl bust / piggy bank unboxing. So we've done a few of these figurine unboxings and we've really enjoyed them, and I've been looking for more opportunities to do them. And so I was kind of looking through the Aggronautix Throbblehead, like the availability of what's what and what do they have, and we found a handful of them that I thought would be perfect for this channel. And so guess what? Here we are to do them. We're going to be doing them one at a time so that each one has its own space. And what do I have here with me today? This one is super cool and a little more, Throbblehead, like I said, the tagline is kind of like a punk rock bobblehead. This is Gibby Haynes of the Butthole Surfers, who, if you know who the Butthole Surfers are, then you know that they're absolutely legendary underground, like psychedelic rock, experimental rock, indie rock, avant-garde kind of band. They're kind of hard to pigeonhole exactly what their sound is because they had so many influences and they were so good at incorporating so many disparate styles. If you're unfamiliar with who they are, they had they're like kind of known by some people for having had an association with Nirvana. So like Nirvana actually opened for them before Nirvana blew up. And I think Kurt Cobain really loved the Butthole Surfers, and I think would speak about them and wear t-shirts and stuff like that. And so some people like myself, honestly, like in the 90s, early 90s, kind of discovering mid to early 90s, discovering Butthole Surfers through Nirvana. They did have one song that was pretty big on like alternative rock radio in the 90s called Pepper. I mean, they had like several singles because they formed in 1981. And so their career is just like, spans decades, and they put out a bunch of albums. They had a ton of songs, and like one of their songs was on Beavis and Butthead. I can't remember the name of that song, but it's almost it's like a metal song. It has kind of like a Melvin's Corrosion of Conformity kind of sound. But if you listen to their older stuff, like there's very obvious punk influence, post-punk influence. Some of this stuff kind of reminds me of like Dead Milkmen, or even like the CBGB scene, but not the Ramones, like the other really kind of like weird stuff that was going on there. The Flaming Lips is another kind of like the early Flaming Lips, like weird psychedelic stuff. And so they were a band that was open to anything, and I think were hugely influential to a lot of the bands that came later. Some of their stuff reminds me of Sonic Youth a little bit, and they were definitely part of that scene, right? Because Sonic Youth was coming up in like the mid to late 80s in the same way that Butthole Surfers were. So, and Gibby Haynes is the leader of the band. He was the vocalist, and I think he played guitar, and maybe various other instruments. So what we're going to do is bust this out. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to drop in some close-ups for you. We'll include some links to where you can go and buy this if you want. We'll include some links to where you can go and listen to the Butthole Surfers. But one of the things that's really awesome about Aggronautix is, you don't need to see me open the box, so I'll talk just for one more second. We'll cut away. We'll open the box. We'll come back. Is that they tend to pick like very legendary underground figures who true fans of this stuff will really love. Like the Rancid one to me is like a no-brainer. I love Rancid. It's like, yes, obviously I have to get this thing, right? I have to have it displayed somewhere prominently because it's so cool. And it's not necessarily about chasing, like, there's not a Green Day one, right? There's not an Offspring one. There's not, and maybe it's because they can't get the licensing to those, right? Who knows? Because I don't think anyone would say no to, releasing something that would sell really well. But it really is about finding like these true awesome underground cult figures who deserve to be revered and probably don't have a lot of chances to have bobbleheads and stuff made out of them. So I'm going to bust this open, talk a little bit more about it, and then we'll be out of your hair. So here we are. Here's Gibby Haynes. I actually left some of the packaging on because I want to show how well packaged this is to avoid any kind of damage in transition. He's wearing like a scarf made out of bubble wrap. And I'm going to take it off of him here. But I mean, I'm assuming that's so that the Throbblehead stays, the bobblehead, Throbblehead, whatever you want to call it. His head stays where it's supposed to go. He's got a megaphone here because in some of their songs and in their stage performances, he very famously used a megaphone as part of the song and as part of the performance. He's got his long hair. He's got his little goatee. He's wearing his psychedelic clothing. The boxes for all of these Throbbleheads are really freaking awesome. And this one is painted in very sweet psychedelic colors that makes me want to go and drop some acid and listen to the Butthole Surfers. Should we do a little boop, 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 boop? Boop, 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 boop. These are hand numbered, so this is number 206 out of 1,000. I think that almost all of the ones that I've seen so far are in editions of 1,000. They've done like G.G. Allen, and like I said, they've done the Rancid one, and like other kind of stuff like that. And so I think that they're all out of 1,000. Don't quote me on that. We're going to put a link to their website on the screen, and then we'll drop an actual clickable link if you're on YouTube in the description of the video so you can go and check it out. But I'll spin this guy around for you. But these are really like high quality. Like the base is very, very heavy. It's weighted down on the bottom, so there's no possibility of it just kind of like randomly tipping and flying over. And the detail is just really, really sweet on the shirt. Like his shirt is like 6 different colors, and they're all really well delineated, and it almost looks like it was like hand painted. I mean, it might very well be hand painted, to be perfectly honest with you, because how would this be machine painted? I don't honestly know. I have no idea how Throbbleheads or bobbleheads are manufactured, so I don't even know what the process is. But it might very well be hand painted and hand detailed, at least. And so there you go. And then he's got his name on the bottom of the pedestal here. And there you go. So that is the Aggronautix Gibby Haynes, frontman for the Butthole Surfers, punk rock bobblehead, Throbblehead. My name is Will. You've been watching Terrible Infant. Thank you so much. We got a couple more of these coming up. If you like these things, this is kind of atypical of what we do. If you like the figurine unboxing, please do let us know, because then we can start doing more of them, and we can start looking for more things that would be appropriate to include on the channel, kind of like this, because obviously we do a lot of music content, so this works well for us. We run the Vinyl Appreciation Society account, so very obvious crossover there. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.